But Jefferson's comments weren't meant as an insult. Instead, they offer a rare and honest glimpse into the pressures of playing alongside a living legend. Speaking on his Road Trippin' podcast, Jefferson didn't hesitate to express how hard it is to share a locker room with one of the most competitive athletes of all time. Playing with LeBron sucks, Jefferson said bluntly, because you're trying to win a championship and he's one of the most competitive human beings in the history of American sports. For Lakers fans, this is a fascinating admission because it highlights an often unseen part of the game, the intense grind that happens behind the scenes even for superstar teams. The public sees LeBron's dazzling passes, thunderous dunks, and clutch performances. But what they don't always see is the work that goes into those moments, the early mornings, the extra hours in the gym, and the obsessive attention to detail. Jefferson painted that picture vividly. It sucks when you're showing up and he's already been practicing for 4 hours, and you're like, oh shit, when you're watching a film and you mess up a play, and he's like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Those anecdotes reveal that playing alongside LeBron means holding yourself to his almost superhuman standards. His competitiveness doesn't just show up in games, it permeates practices, film sessions, and even casual conversations. This level of intensity can be overwhelming for teammates who aren't prepared for it. It's one thing to be a professional athlete, it's another to try and match the work ethic of someone who reportedly spends over $1.5 million a year just to maintain his body at peak condition. For LeBron, greatness isn't just about talent, it's about an all-consuming commitment to his craft. That sets a tone that can either elevate a team or exhaust those who can't keep up. Jefferson's comments add an important layer to the ongoing narrative about LeBron's leadership style. Fans and media often praise LeBron for his basketball IQ and team-first mentality. But there's another side to that leadership, the intense pressure cooker environment he creates. When you're on a team with LeBron, you're not just competing against the opponent, you're competing against his expectations every single day. And that's why Jefferson's comment resonates. Playing with LeBron sucks doesn't mean that LeBron is a bad teammate or a difficult person. It means that the price of playing alongside someone so obsessed with greatness is high, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It means sacrificing comfort and ego, accepting constant scrutiny, and matching a standard that very few players in NBA history could ever meet. This is what makes LeBron's team so dangerous, but also so demanding. His pursuit of perfection forces everyone around him to raise their level or risk being left behind. And while that dynamic has produced championships and Hall of Fame careers, it also explains why some players might struggle or even resent the environment it creates. In this moment, as the Lakers navigate a turbulent offseason and face decisions about the future of their roster, Jefferson's comments are a reminder of what it really means to play next to LeBron James. It's not just about the bright lights and championship banners, it's about the day-to-day grind of meeting the expectations of a player who refuses to accept anything less than excellence.
Richard Jefferson's candid comments about playing with LeBron James shed light on an important but often underappreciated aspect of team building: how a superstar's relentless drive can shape not just on-court performance, but also the daily culture inside the locker room. For the Lakers, and any franchise that employs a player of LeBron's caliber, this intensity creates both opportunities and challenges that affect every teammate, coach, and executive. From a technical perspective, LeBron's competitiveness is one of his greatest assets. He doesn't just hold himself accountable, he demands the same from everyone around him. That standard raises the floor for any team he joins. Role players are expected to know every detail of the playbook, anticipate defensive rotations, and deliver consistent effort. Even coaches must prepare meticulous game plans because LeBron will challenge every decision in film sessions. Even team trainers and staff feel the pressure to match his obsessive approach to preparation. This intensity manifests itself most visibly in LeBron's command of the offense. As a high-usage point forward, LeBron dictates tempo, controls spacing, and expects precise execution from teammates. When players meet those standards, the result is an offense that hums, producing elite efficiency and stretching defenses to their limit. But when teammates fail to meet expectations, missing defensive assignments, failing to rotate properly, or hesitating on open shots, LeBron's frustration is both immediate and public. This dynamic can build tension within a locker room if players interpret that frustration as criticism rather than leadership. For younger players or those unaccustomed to championship-level expectations, this environment can be overwhelming. A rookie or new acquisition suddenly finds himself not only adjusting to the speed of the NBA game, but also to the heightened demands of playing alongside LeBron. Mistakes that might have been shrugged off elsewhere become teaching moments or sources of confrontation in Los Angeles. That can affect confidence, decision-making, and ultimately performance. Conversely, players who embrace this pressure often flourish. Veterans with high basketball IQs and mental toughness tend to thrive next to LeBron because they understand that his intensity comes from a desire to win at all costs. For example, players like Kyle Korver and Ray Allen seamlessly integrated into LeBron's teams by accepting their roles, understanding spacing, and trusting LeBron's leadership. Those who resist that culture, either due to ego, lack of preparation, or inability to adapt, often find themselves marginalized or traded. From a coaching standpoint, LeBron's presence also forces adjustments. Coaches must balance empowering their superstar while ensuring that the rest of the roster remains engaged. This can be difficult because LeBron's experience, intelligence, and influence often give him outsized power in shaping team strategy and rotation decisions. Coaches who fail to earn his respect may struggle to implement their vision fully. Even beyond the hardwood, LeBron's leadership style shapes team operations. Film sessions become more intense because every mistake is scrutinized. Practices often run longer or with more detail because LeBron sets a tone of perfectionism. Player development staff are expected to help role players elevate their games quickly to keep pace. This culture permeates an organization in ways both beneficial and exhausting. For the Lakers, this dynamic is especially relevant as the franchise transitions into a new era with Luka Doncic now in place as a co-star. Integrating another superstar into this environment means navigating the intersection of LeBron's exacting standards with Luka's style of play and leadership. It also means ensuring that role players and younger teammates are prepared to operate under the microscope that comes with playing next to LeBron. In the end, Richard Jefferson's comments illuminate a truth that every Lakers fan and executive must understand. Playing with LeBron James is a privilege, but it comes at a price. That price is the constant demand for excellence in preparation, execution, and accountability. And while that pressure can forge championship teams, it can also strain relationships and test mental toughness. For the current Lakers roster, understanding and embracing this reality is critical to their success, particularly as they aim to maximize the final prime years of LeBron's extraordinary career.
Richard Jefferson's remarks about how playing with LeBron sucks aren't just a funny soundbite or locker room anecdote. They offer valuable insight into what it means to compete at the highest level and why the environment LeBron James creates is so unique. For Lakers fans, this is a rare opportunity to reflect on both the blessings and the burdens of having a generational player lead their team. First, let's be clear. Jefferson was not taking a shot at LeBron's character or leadership. In fact, his tone suggested deep respect for the way LeBron prepares, practices, and competes. But that respect also came with an acknowledgement of reality. Greatness requires sacrifice, and for teammates, that sacrifice means matching LeBron's intensity every day, often at the cost of personal comfort or ease. For Lakers fans, this underscores a truth that sometimes gets lost in debates about stats and narratives. Winning at the level LeBron aspires to is hard. It is grueling, relentless, and unforgiving. The NBA is filled with talented players, but very few can maintain the level of discipline and commitment that LeBron demands from himself, and therefore from everyone around him. This also explains why certain role players thrive in LeBron-led environments, while others struggle. It's not just about skill, it's about mindset. Players who welcome coaching, accountability, and high expectations often flourish next to LeBron because they recognize that his criticism is rooted in a desire to win. Those who aren't ready for that level of scrutiny, or who resent the pressure, quickly fall out of favor and find themselves replaced. As Lakers fans, this means recalibrating expectations for how this roster should be built. It's not enough to sign talented players or big names. The key is finding players who can mentally and emotionally handle playing alongside one of the most demanding leaders in sports history. That should guide how we evaluate every trade rumor, free agent signing, and draft pick moving forward. The Lakers front office must recognize this too. With Luka Doncic now part of the equation, managing team dynamics becomes even more complex. Luka brings his own leadership style and preferences, and the challenge for management and coaching staff will be blending Luka's strengths with the environment that LeBron's intensity creates. The goal is not just assembling talent on paper, but ensuring that personalities, work ethic, and mental toughness align with the culture of excellence LeBron has cultivated. For fans, this is a moment to appreciate what we have while also holding the organization accountable for understanding the stakes. LeBron's time in the NBA is finite, and his window for contending at a high level is narrowing. The Lakers must surround him with players who not only fit basketball-wise, but who can embrace the pressure that comes with playing next to one of the greatest to ever do it. So here's our call to action to Lakers Nation. Appreciate the grind. When you see LeBron barking at teammates during a game, recognize that as part of what makes him great. When a new signing struggles to adapt, remember that this environment isn't for everyone. It takes a special kind of mindset to thrive next to a player who expects perfection. Support the players who rise to that challenge, and demand that the front office makes culture as much a priority as talent in every roster decision. Ultimately, Jefferson's comments remind us that greatness isn't easy, but for Lakers fans, that difficulty is also what makes it worthwhile. If the Lakers are to win another championship during LeBron's tenure, it will be because the entire organization, from the front office to the final player on the bench, buys into that mindset. And that is a standard we, as fans, should always expect.